There's Lizzie Greenwood-Hughes at the BBC Sports Centre. Now, health officials in the United States are urging people to stop using e-cigarettes after another death from a mysterious lung illness linked to vaping. There have now been 5 deaths confirmed in recent weeks across the US, with 215 cases of people falling ill after vaping. But the problem could be much greater, with experts investigating 450 cases of lung illness which may have been caused by e-cigarette use. Our reporter Aldia Noble has more.
Over 12 million people use flavoured e-cigarettes, or vapes, in America. But fatalities are on the rise from a respiratory illness which seems to be related. At least 215 people are confirmed to have been affected, but hundreds more cases are being investigated. On Friday, the Centre for Disease Control released a statement urging people not to vape and encouraged users to monitor themselves for symptoms. No common brand or ingredient has emerged among cases, leaving doctors at a loss for the disease's cause and how best to treat it. The CDC is working with the US Food and Drug Association to investigate the illness and what chemicals might be behind it. The illness, which leaves patients struggling to breathe, appears to be a form of lipopneumonia, which is caused by inhaling oils, and in most cases developed after the patient vaped THC or nicotine-containing products. The CDC statement comes after Michigan became the first US state to ban flavoured e-cigarettes on Wednesday, after the state health department found that youth vaping constituted a public health emergency. Aldia Noble, BBC News.
Well, John Dunne is director of the UK Vaping Industry Association, and he joins us now via webcam. Mr. Dunne, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Sean.
What do you make of these stories coming out of the United States?
Well, we're saddened to learn about the cases that's been recently published, and we're keen to understand the causes of these deaths. But what we do know is that there's very little evidence coming out that they are linked to vaping itself. What we do know, and what most of the states are reporting, is that these are linked to THC oils, which are illegal in this country and most parts of the US. These are not the normal e-liquids that one would go and buy in their local vape shop or corner shop.
So you're suggesting it's a bit like people putting cannabis into a cigarette and then blaming the manufacturer of the tobacco and the paper for any problems they suffer?
Well, exactly. So if you look at the UK, for instance, we haven't had a single case of these type of respiratory issues. And that's really down to a couple of factors. The fact that we've got robust manufacturing practices here in the UK, and all of our ingredients are highly regulated. But what we don't have is a large THC type marketplace. So there's something different going on in the US that's not happening in the rest of the world where people vape.
And yet for the US public health authorities to say, don't vape, that's quite, if the link in your view is so tenuous, that's quite a strong response for them to make. I mean, they wouldn't do that for nothing, and they're a very respected organisation.
Well, I think it's a little bit misleading in the statement. The fact that these people are vaping THC oils, which are not designed to be used in normal vaping devices.
Sure, but it hasn't been established that that's the cause. So surely the responsible thing for them to do is to say, don't vape until we know what the cause is.
Well, it seems to be the common link that all of the states are reporting back. It's the people themselves that said they were perfectly fine until they vaped THC. So I think that is quite a common link.
Yeah, but and I know that there might be a correlation. That doesn't necessarily mean there's a causation. I mean, these things have to be tested medically and scientifically before you can make that leap. And all they're saying is, let's be responsible about this. We don't know for definite what's causing it. Stop vaping, and then we can work out when it's safe to vape again.
Well, I think, again, if you go back and look at the UK as an example, we haven't had such cases. So, the vaping liquids in the US are using the same propylene glycol, etc., that we're using here. So if this
So their manufacturing processes are pretty much the same as are used in this country?
No, the manufacturing processes are more highly regulated in this country. And some of the ingredients in electronic cigarettes that are used in the US are banned in this country.
So it's not impossible that those might be a contributory factor.
Quite possibly. As we said, we're still waiting for more evidence. But as I said, what the common link so far seems to be is around THC.
So at the moment, you've no concerns in this country?
I have no concerns in this country, and neither has Public Health England.
John Dunne of the UK Vaping Industry Association, thank you very much for being with us this afternoon.
No problem, thank you.
Now, several hundred